You know, one of the biggest issues I see all these new sales reps have when they come into the high ticket space is they can't find good sales jobs, right? They're all either waiting in someone's pipeline to be placed, or they're just going from one Facebook group to another, commenting on posts, me, or I'm interested. That's their whole approach to landing an actual six-figure offer. Today, I want to show you how to go about becoming so appealing to offer owners and business owners that they have no choice but to hire you immediately for a six-figure role. And if you've gone through someone's sales training in the past, or you're currently going through someone's sales training, I'm going to show you all the ways to approach a business owner and how you can force them to hire you. All right, my name is Baaz Virk. I run revenuegrowth.io. We build and manage sales teams and sales infrastructures for our clients, and we also partner with sales reps to help them do the same so we can serve more clients at a larger scale. Strap in, subscribe, like, share, all that good noise, and let's dive in. So we're gonna break down how to land a six-figure remote sales role without paying for sales training or placement program or any of that stuff. All right, I know you've probably seen the ads if you're watching this video. There's so many self-proclaimed sales coaches now that are slinging sales training. Right, we had a program ourselves, but we actually place people within our teams. Like majority of these nowadays self-proclaimed sales coaches haven't even been in sales for 5 years yet, but they feel qualified enough to charge people 5 or 10K to help them get better at sales or place them into a sales team. It's insane, right? But to each their own. That being said, I want to give you some sauce, free sauce, where you can go land your own remote sales role and make six figures without having to pay any sales coach $1. You just have to put the work in. Okay. If you want to work within one of our sales teams, our internal sales team, partner teams, feel free to reach out via IG. We don't charge 5K or any of that stuff. If you're good, I want you on our team. All right. So here's the step-by-step guide. Number one, your dream companies. The first step to landing a 10 to 20K a month remote sales role is to put together a list of 20 to 30 companies or influencers or creators you want to be selling for. All right. These are companies that are in a niche you're passionate about, or companies, verticals that you have experience in. Okay. If you can combine passion and experience, by the way, in this space, home run. Now, these companies must also sell a product or a service at high ticket prices, meaning 5K to 50K on average. Now, the reason this is important, it's important to pursue an industry or vertical you're passionate about, is belief. If you sell something you believe in and you have conviction in, you'll automatically do good on that specific offer or in that specific vertical. You won't perform as good on a marketing offer if you don't really care for marketing. You won't perform well on a fitness offer if you yourself aren't into fitness, right? So conviction in what you sell makes it 10x easier for you to consistently sell the product or the service at a very high close rate. And the other factor to consider is the price point of the product or service you're selling, right? Higher price point as a salesperson, higher commission in a short amount of time. In the 1 hour of your sales call or 30-minute sales call or whatever it is, if you sell a 5K product versus a 20K product, it's going to take you the same time to close that deal. But on one end, on the higher, more expensive one, you're going to make a lot more money. So right now, the coaching, consulting, and agency space is literally exploding with opportunities. Too many people are starting businesses, and a lot of them are successful and they're good and they need sales reps. So next, what we're going to do is research. Number one is the list. The first thing you want to do is start searching up the industry or the vertical you want to be selling in on Facebook. Okay, go to Facebook. This will show you a bunch of, if you search up fitness or real estate or whatever, it'll show you a bunch of people, bunch of pages, and a bunch of groups within that vertical or industry that you can start putting together your list of dream companies. All right. Number two, what you want to do is the Facebook ads library. All right. This is the link here. Just, pause this video, take this link, put it in your browser. You implement the same process using Facebook ad library, which shows you all of the Facebook ads that any company or any creator or influencer is currently running. For example, you can search my name and you'll see the ads we're currently running. Reason we do this is because you want to make sure you're only selling for a company that is actively running paid ads, meaning they're actually spending money to put meetings on your calendar or bring you leads at the bare minimum if you're looking for a setter role, right? You don't want to have a company that's not doing paid ads and they're just hoping on you to generate some leads, right? Just more work for you. So use this link. You repeat both of these steps, 1 and 2, until you have a list of 20 to 30 companies or founders or influencers that fit into your dream company's categories. Next, what you want to do is the company. Step three is company employees, right? You go to LinkedIn to search for each of these companies, all 20, 30 of them, and identify the structure of the company to find out if the company has a sales team or sales leader or hiring manager. If the company does have a sales team leader or hiring manager, you'll have to gather their contact info as well. Right? This is key because these will be the people that are responsible for hiring you or recruiting you. So you send a connection invite and script the email addresses of the founders, hiring managers, or sales team leaders within your dream companies list. You can script using LinkedIn. There's other tools, Seamless AI, Instantly. So I don't want to get into too much just email scraping, but that's what you have to do. Get their info. Next, you want to hit up social media. Okay, you'll also need to locate the social media pages of each of these contacts so that you have multiple channels to contact them on. All right, so you should have the Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, email contact for each of the companies in your dream companies list. Now it's time to start reaching out and start booking your interview calls so that you can land that new sales role as fast as possible. By the way, if you follow this entire thing, you should have a sales role within the next 2 to 3 weeks. All right. You'll start landing interviews within a week if you actually do the work. So number two is schedule interview calls. Now that you have your list of companies at this point, it's time to strategically reach out to the founders or hiring managers and schedule some interview calls. The goal here is to have them justify to you whether their company is a good fit for you or not. All right. So we're doing the same thing here we do on sales call discovery, right? Look for the no, the three whys, so on and so forth. I don't want to get too much into that, but treat this as a sales call. You're also getting info from them on what exactly they need or want, which tells you how to get the founder or hiring manager to hire you. In order to do this correctly, you must, and this is, I can't stress this enough, you must shift your mindset. If you go to these calls, these interview calls with desperation, you will not land any roles, right? Just like you would go into a sales call with desperation, you usually don't end up closing the sale. Same principle applies here. You're here to create a sales role, not ask for one. You're not looking for a handout. It simply means you're identifying the biggest sales problem a business is having and positioning yourself as a solution to that specific sales problem. All right, now we're going to start focusing on your outreach. Most sales reps will reach out to companies saying something along the lines of, "Hey, I'm looking for a sales role. Are you currently hiring?" This is basic bitch behavior. All right. Problem with this is founders and hiring managers are receiving the same message from hundreds of other sales reps, meaning you effectively become one of 100 applicants or one of 100 reps asking them for a handout, not actually doing the work, doing anything to stand apart, right? Instead, we want to lead with value by saying something that follows this frame, right? Hey, I can tell you're the type of hiring manager or the type of entrepreneur this you're reaching out to with the sales problem you identified. Let me provide the solution to you at no cost to you. So, for example, if someone is hiring for a setter role in a fitness company, so hey, I can tell you're a fitness entrepreneur. I'm very aligned with you with not enough calls being booked on your calendar. Let me book some appointments to you at no cost, zero commission. Something along those lines, right? I'll give you a deeper example here, but you'll want to tailor the message to be specific to whichever company or hiring manager you're reaching out to. But typically, the biggest problems the founders and sales managers struggle with is just inconsistent sales. So here's an example of a message you can send. If you were able to have a sales rep who can consistently put up 150K a month without a dip in performance, would that help you out at all? Send. Always double messages, right? If so, I would love to jump on a call. I'm looking for a role. I've done research on your company. I'm aligned with your values, missions, and goals. And try to get more specific here. This is just like a base foundation. And I have no doubt in my mind that I can make you at least $1 million this year. Send. Now, first you start sending messages to all your 20, 30 contacts in your dream companies list via emails and DMs, since that's where you'll typically get the highest response rate. No cold calling. Don't, most of these guys aren't picking up their phone. You'll get a few responses, but most might not get back to you right away. So it's important to follow up. Treat these hiring managers and founders just like a prospect. You'd follow up, hopefully, endlessly with a prospect just to close a deal. You need to follow up endlessly with the founders or hiring managers just to land your closing or setting offer as well. So you persistently follow up every day or every other day until you get a response back. And the way you follow up is through social media, one platform at a time. All right. So don't just blast a copy and paste follow up message on every single platform every single day. Goal is to be consistently hitting them from different channels. Okay. So Monday, Facebook, Tuesday, email, Wednesday, IG, Thursday, LinkedIn, so on and so forth. So what this does is two things, right? It shows them you're hungry for the role. It's number one. Number two, it proves that you'll consistently follow up with their leads if you get hired, right? It's proof is in the pudding. So most business owners and sales managers realize the pain in the ass it is to have sales reps follow up with their leads and prospects. And I know this because we manage multiple teams and it is a pain. It's just adult babysitting, forcing sales reps to follow up. So if you're able to prove that you'll do whatever their current team or their current reps won't before you even talk with them, they'll immediately feel the value that you have to offer. If you follow this process for all 20 or 30 founders or hiring managers in your list, you should have at least 5 to 6 calls set up within a week. All right. Next step is to close a deal, close an interview deal. Now that you have calls lined up, it's time to close. The key here is to treat the interview as an actual sales call where you're selling the founder or hiring manager on why you're the perfect fit for their company. When you're able to sell them on why you're the perfect fit, you can offer them a zero risk approach to hiring you, right? It becomes a no brainer for them to bring you on the team. The way most sales reps approach this, they say something like, just give me 10 calls. And if I can't close any sales from the 10 calls, then don't hire me. Now, as a sales rep, at first glance, this sounds like a zero risk offer, right? Especially from the perspective of a sales rep. In reality, though, and I'm going to break this down for you, a founder or an entrepreneur or a hiring manager is actually risking a lot of budget and potential sales by giving you 10 sales calls. All right. For context, industry average on cost per book call is between 100 to $200. And I'm being generous here because some of the offers we're seeing are sitting around 300 cost per book call, meaning it costs these guys anywhere from 100 to $300 to have one call booked on a closer's calendar. Okay, meaning you're asking the business owners to risk, again, I'm being generous here, 1,000 to 2,000 of their money just so you can prove yourself, right? And if they would have given you, let's say, these 10 calls to, let's say they give these 10 sales calls to their current team, they'd most likely close 2 or 3 deals, right? Out of those 10. So if their product, assuming just, hypothetically, if their product or service is priced around 10K, that could be 20 or 30,000 in revenue, right? 2 to 3 sales at 10K in lost sales for them because you couldn't close. So in total, you're asking the company to risk 20 or 30,000 just so you can prove yourself, right? Just because you want to get hired. Realistically, no founder or hiring manager will ever take that risk. Hopefully you can see that. So how do you make them a Godfather offer, right? Godfather, for those who haven't seen the movie, it's an offer they can't refuse. Step one, you have to fully understand the company's current status and what their main problem is. It lead flow, appointments, closes, show rates, any sales related problem, right? And what does the company really need now? And the information you pull from the research you did in step one can help with this, but you'll have to ask questions on the call, the interview call, to get clarity. So remember, we're treating this like a sales call. So do your discovery. You're asking questions to understand the problem and then making a pitch that positions yourself as a solution. And if they have objections, you start objection handling just like any other sales call. If they have objections to hiring you, you do what you're supposed to do on a sales call. And if they still say no to your offer after handling all the objections, then you pull out the Godfather offer, right? An offer they simply cannot say no to. And that goes something like this. If you give me a list of all leads that didn't close, I will personally reach out to all of them and close at least 3 deals for you. That way you're collecting sales that you would have just left on the table. Otherwise, you don't even know they were there. And I'm proving to you that I can sell before you bring me on the team. And don't give me any commissions for them. This is the ultimate no risk because they're not risking any additional money since you're just leveraging old leads and they would have just gone to waste. And you're telling them you won't even take commission because you're there to prove themselves. Not only will the hiring or founder, hiring manager or founder love the offer, but they'll also be able to clearly see that you know how to sell and you have confidence in your abilities. And next step is to become an elite closer, an elite sales rep. Once you secure your new sales role, it's time to set yourself up to become the number one closer on the team and consistently earn 10 to 20K a month in commission. The first thing you need to do is to reverse engineer your goals, right? Reverse engineering your goals gives you clarity on what numbers you need to hit, which gives you full clarity on whether or not you're on track or off track to hit your goals, which then tells you if and when you need to course correct, come back on the line, right? For example, just simple numbers say if your goal is to make 15K in commissions each month, here's how you would reverse engineer your numbers. How much do I want to earn this commission this month? 15K. What is my commission rate? 15%. What is the price point of the product I'm selling? 10K. How much commission do I earn from each sale? 1,500. How many sales do I need to close to make 15K in commissions? 10 sales. What is my close rate? 20%. How many calls do I need to take to close 15 sales? 50 showed calls, right? Now, again, I don't want to complicate this too much, so this doesn't take into account like no-show rate and stuff. So that's why I put 50 showed calls. Now, as long as you have 50 showed calls on your calendar, qualified calls, you will hit your goal of 15K, or you'll be very close to it. Now, all you have to do now is focus on making sure you take those 50 calls in the month, do your follow up, and most sales reps, follow like a cookie cutter sales script when it comes to closing. But the problem is that cookie cutter approach will only work for one specific type of buyer. This is a topic for another video, using frameworks to close deals, so on and so forth. But hopefully you got some value out of this one. Do all these steps step by step, and it will become unreasonable for you not to land your interviews within next week and not to land your role within the next 2 weeks. A 6-figure, legitimate remote sales rep role without having to do any sales training or placement program with anyone. You don't have to pay anybody a dime. And that's it for this one. I'll see you on the next one. Peace.